Hey, yo, your kids? Hey, yo, my kids? My kids need correction? Uh-oh. Better get on that while you still have the time. What'd you send me? Oh, another. I have a Fred music playlist right here, and this is on there. That would be creepy. Creepy. That would be creepy. Creepy. Yo, I gotta do a fucking Fred karaoke one day. That'll be great. That'll get me all my fans will love that. I know it. But yeah, let me hide that. Where's my... There we go. Witch on the Holy Night. Oh yeah, baby. You know, we're back. Gonna finish off that suspenseful scene with that freaky doll thing. Ooh, okay, whatever. Continue. Are you ready? Let's start. Let's start reading. Break time was over. There stood Aoko Ozaki and Sojiro Suzuki. The first ever idle conversation had come to an end. Not that they had a choice in the matter. Maybe like Bimmy and Sleep. I think, honestly, the Christmas is Creepy was like the first Fred song I heard back in the day. I mean, it is a certified classic. And I remember seeing like a Flipnote on Flipnote, like Hateno, about it too. Back then, that's a classic. Yeah, get all comfy, Bimmy. We're going in. It was the jarring murmuring from around the corner that cut it short. Oh, it's saying freaky stuff again. The enemy was just around the corner, visible in the mirrors parallel to it. We don't have time for this. We need to keep our In contrast to Aoko's elegant blues, its lights were a malicious red. Gander shots. There was a momentary flash of light before she even extended her arm. But the instant she saw the enemy, her dormant feelings erupted once more. You're a real pain in the ass. She channeled all of her pent-up anger and shunted it into her right arm. The fog that filled the corridor was no magical weaving, but rather a barrier of raw energy. It was equivalent to setting ablaze 3 buckets of gasoline to create a wall of fire in hopes it would stop an arrow in a fight. If the puppet had attacked with its arm, it could have pierced such a wall easily, but because it had loosed curses with no definite form, the wall of energy repelled the attack. Well, it was a huge waste of magical energy. It was the only means Aoko had to protect herself at that very moment. Fortunately, its protection was reserved for Aoko alone. Sojiro held his hand to his mouth. While the curse had been weakened to the point where Aoko could no longer feel it, it had plenty of effect on Sojiro, who was not a mage. Ooh. As if it understood this fact, the puppet turned its gaze from Aoko to the unanticipated human behind her. This has nothing to do with him! Enraged, she swung her arm forward once again. The blue light formed a wall that blocked Gander for a scant few seconds. It was enough of an opening to exploit. Just as Aoko was forming the wall, the puppet pointed its right arm at her face and... This apparently has nothing to do with me. Time to run. Before the rocket of death could be fired, Sojiro scooped her up in his arms. Oh, how romantic. How he mustered the strength to do so was a mystery, but he turned his back on the puppet and took off running. He was a nimble sprinter, resembling a deer leaping across obstacles. Sojiro rounded 2 more corners, ignored whatever complaints Alko was making, and eventually stopped in the middle of the 2nd floor. He set her down. Alright, I've bought us enough time to rest for a bit. Sojiro's shoulders heaved as he caught his breath. As light as she was, running while carrying someone else would make anyone winded. She looked up at him in incomprehension. You had that much stamina all along? Then why? It made no sense to her. If he had the stamina to pick her up and run, surely he could have stood up and escaped when he had been down earlier. Oh, that time I'd given up. His words were as unfiltered as ever. Though right then, fighting for their lives, he lacked some of his usual absent-mindedness. But why? Who knows? I've forgotten already. Though he may have turned away because he regretted saying it out loud, his words spoke volumes. For some reason, it pained Alko to see him like that. Also, Ozaki, I'm suddenly feeling really ill. Was it that red light? Yes, a form of magecraft. They're called Gondor shots, a curse that originated in Scandinavia. It has no effect on someone with magical circuits like myself, but you're defenseless against it. I see, it doesn't work on you. Then that arm is the only thing that poses a threat. Ako had no idea why he was relieved, but she gritted her teeth and fought down the urge to snap at him. There was no use in yelling at him at a time like this. Above all, she felt that it would have been petty in the extreme to voice her annoyance right now. You're right. The extending arm is the only thing I have to worry about, so it's not that tough after all. This time it was not false bravado. Such an enemy would normally be a breeze for Alko Ozaki, but her shameful negligence had led to the disruption of her magic circuits, making her even less formidable than her enemy. At this point, Alko had no way of attacking. The only option left to her was to wait for it to expend all of its magical energy, but its perpetual curse mechanism made that a non-starter. This game of tag would not end until one of them was dead. She realized that she was in the same position she had cornered Sojiro in earlier. She glanced at her right arm. She could not imagine how she had gotten into such a mess with her magical energy at more than half of its capacity. This had to be karma for having enjoyed toying with Sojiro earlier. Maybe there is a god after all. Maybe there is a God Sean. Oh, okay. She grumbled under her breath as she shifted her focus. She had the fuel for the fire, but not the igniter. And that killing machine would chase her until the end of time if need be. What she should do next was blindingly clear. She had to get back to normal. Ozaki. Sorry, I was thinking. Maybe that could... Okay, Suzuki, I've got it. You see that side passage over there? Huh? Alko pointed, but he could see nothing but the walls of the corridor. For one thing, the floor had nothing but left turns, and Alko was pointing to the right. At the center of the 2nd floor, there's a stairway down to the 1st floor, which I destroyed earlier, so you couldn't use it. But there's another path that leads to the right. Like this place is taunting you by design. It's a secret shortcut that only hardcore fans know about. Yeah, those fucking hardcore House of Mirrors fans, great. If you search carefully, you can find a way to the stairs down to the 1st floor. Now do as I say and go on without me. Alko turned her back to Sojiro and started walking. Walking in the opposite direction of the escape route and down to the long corridor towards the puppet in pursuit. That thing will kill anything it sees, so I have to destroy it here and now. It's okay for two mages to fight each other, but dragging normal people into the conflict is strictly forbidden. I'm the target, so this is the best outcome for everyone, don't you think? If Alco won, the puppet would be destroyed. If Alco lost, its objective would be complete, and it would shut down. Either way, them going their separate ways would mean Sojiro survived. This is what Alco meant, though she explained it as the events were happening to two totally different people. If you're lucky enough, you'll make it back to the gates in one piece. So see you tomorrow then. Even Sojiro could tell she was just trying to act tough, but she had already disappeared around the corner by the time he thought to stop her. Well then. Mentally, Alco bemoaned the disaster she was in. The quality of this puppet was on a completely different level compared to the one from the park 2 days ago. An auto-incanting perpetual motion machine was a rarity in and of itself, but this puppet was also equipped for battle, with its extending arms and Gondar projecting crystalline eyes. It was a first-class product that, if put on the market, would sell for hundreds of millions of yen. Although that was only when factoring in its value as an antique. For the purposes of combat, it would have made more sense to mobilize a significantly less expensive familiar. To use such a precious commodity as a tool for murder marked this puppet's master as a completely different breed of crazy from the enemies she had faced up until now. Oh, more funny words. Speaking in Latin. Here comes. Here comes! Oh. A sound of a crackling music box filled the air. The near autonoma, animated by its own curses, approached. The corridor measured approximately 30 feet in length. Alco lay in wait around a corner further down the hall, anticipating the puppet's appearance. This was not to buy Sojiro time to escape. Far from it. Alco had concluded that she couldn't make a break for it under the current circumstances. Even if she did try to escape, and by some miracle made it out of the House of Mirrors, that was only as far as she would go. Outside with no cover, Alco would quickly be overtaken and skewered from behind. As long as her magecraft was disabled, escape was impossible. Instead, she chose to force the enemy back. Her situation was not the most favorable, but neither was the puppet's. Though this narrow hall gave Alco no place to run, it in turn prevented the puppet from reaching full speed. That was the weak point of this machine. Near autonoma of its era had a tendency to struggle with minute changes in speed. Connecting. She flowed energy into her shorted circuits. Her blood flow and magical energy supply were unstable. It would be difficult to construct a formula in this state. All she could do was harden her right arm by imbuing it with as much energy as she could. Doing so turned her arm into an improvised weapon like a hammer or bat. Assuming she could manage to get into closer combat range, this was the best she could do. All she needed now was a plan of attack. The question wasn't what weapon to use, but how to use the weapon she had. The simplest way would be to use the mirror's reflections to hide, then rush the puppet from its blind spot, except for one major problem. It did not have a sense of sight in the first place. The puppet's view of the world around it did not stem from visual feedback, but from mapping the topography of its surroundings. In theory, it was the same as a bat's echolocation. The environment could be measured based on the emission and return of high-frequency sound waves. Those chants served as sensor pulses. As far as the puppet was concerned, the mirrors were no better than transparent panes, making even the thought of ambush laughable. The closer it gets, the more it's able to sense me. I'd rather fight at a distance, but if it's shooting Gondar, it's probably got at least a fin shot up its sleeve too. Gondar was Scandinavian in nature, and considering its simplicity, highly versatile. It was most effective at impairing a target's health by pointing a finger. As a single action magecraft, it was limited to only causing illness, but there is a secret technique said to be the greatest mastery of Gondar shot, the fin shot. It could do more than cause simple illness. It was a deadly curse that could stop the heart. The wound on her back set her nerves on fire. An unarmed girl and a deadly automaton. It was clear that she was the one destined for death. She considered her slim chances of survival when a vision sent chills down her spine. Quietly, using everything she could clamp down on feeling, she faced her all too familiar illusion. She clenched her teeth to keep them from making a deafening clatter. But there, the sensation of fingers crawling up her neck behind her, the specter stared and laughed. This alone made Alco want to bolt. On top of it all, when Alco tried to mentally simulate the coming fight, she estimated a 2 in 10 chance of dying in the first 5 seconds. 20%. At times, her predictions were harsher than reality. If Alco fought the puppet 10 times, she would die twice. She could not stop herself from visualizing her own corpse. She imagined herself collapsing, crumbling under the puppet's curse. Her eyeballs swollen like a blowfish, blood and other fluids oozing from every bodily orifice. 1 in 5, 1 in 5, 1 in 5. A 1 in 10 chance of death was bad enough, but 1 in 5? It drove her crazy. You're making me cuckoo crazy. But Alco forced her heart as it tried to escape from her mouth. Taking a deep breath, she peered at her own reflection. She thought back to the White Knight half a year ago. This, she decided, was nothing compared to that. 6 months ago at the Kwanji estate. The Hound of White Roses, the Wonder Snatch that appeared from the thick fog, had killed Alco 100 times out of 10. A dark curse shattered Alco's daydream. It was only 30 feet away. The puppet rounded the corner. Either side stood in the shadows, their forms indistinct. The puppet gave no warning. Without preamble, it swiftly fired a Gondar barrage. Just as Alco planned, the curse fizzled out as they hit her mist-like barrier of magical energy. The protection would only last a few seconds, giving her just enough time to... Come on! Its stretchable spear sprang towards Alco's face.
Bingo!
Bingo! The lethal weapon grazed her cheek. All her experience analyzing puppet attack patterns gave her the wherewithal to evade the attack by a hair's breadth. It was one thing if a puppeteer were pulling the strings, but autonomous dolls had their limitations. Alco had bet everything on this killing machine following a predefined template. The puppet would use a given attack for a given range, and she could adjust for her tactics for that. Now's my chance! Before its arm had a chance to fully retract, she charged the puppet. It was a risky gamble, but her overall chances were slim to begin with. The scales tipped in her favor. If her predictions were correct, there were only 2 ways she would die. One was from a fin shot fired at that range. Ooh. And the other was if the puppet's attack pattern was beyond her ability to foresee. Instantaneous mass transfer, otherwise known as mass displacement. Immediately after Alco dodged the puppet's arm, something smashed into her abdomen. The head-on collision from its shoulder felt like a rocket. But where had the ability to propel itself come from? Puppets like this were not built to have the ability to jet around like that. Doing everything in her power to stay conscious in spite of the pain, Alco could just make out what had just happened. It wasn't propelled, it was pulled. Yes, the puppet's arm had not returned to its body. It was lodged in the wall and reeled itself in from the other direction. It can do that! Swallowing her surprise, she hastily pulled herself back up. Her abdomen, specifically her diaphragm, had been dealt a significant blow. The attack left her disorientated. Thankfully, the puppet was surprisingly lightweight. Her bones and organs were intact, and she had sustained no life-threatening damage. She was having a tough time breathing, however. She was shaken, though she managed to keep her calm. In another 2 seconds, she'd be back on her feet. No, that was 2 seconds too long! She told herself to stay calm, that she was already calm. She'd only briefly lost her bearings. She was fine. She could recover her breath and her vision later if only her body would just move. Cerebrum fruit. Above her, Alco could hear the warped noise of a powerful force. Come on, legs, move. We gotta get to where? She could once more feel the touch of death. The puppet was so close that Alco could reach out and touch it. That also meant that it could also reach out and kill Alco. I need to get my right arm into its blind spot. Ugh. By intuition alone, Alco rolled over the puppet's right flank. Its arm was still embedded in the wall. From here it could not attack. She had made the right decision, and her dizziness faded. Yeah. Alco pulled herself back up. It was her turn. What? It was only an instant. Within this labyrinth of mirrors, she saw an image of herself. A blinding, brilliant light flashed. Lacerations appeared across the walls. At the last moment, Alco managed to thicken the magical energy running through her veins into a primitive form of magecraft resistance. It just barely saved her life from what must have been the puppet's ace in the hole. Why, you... The puppet bore a striking resemblance to Alco. This powerful curse was not satisfied with stopping Alco's heart, but destroying her entire being. Alco did not have time to be shocked. There was a chance for a counterattack. The puppet's balance was unsteady, its right arm still embedded in the wall. Alco prepared to give its defenseless body a strong kick, but her knees buckled and she collapsed into a heap on the floor. A sudden nausea and lightheadedness came over Alco. Her body temperature began to rapidly lower. This whole time, it was spreading curses the whole time. She noticed too late. The puppet's curses circled the hall. The curse The cursed chant that the puppet used as a source of power doubled as a defense mechanism, crippling those who drew near with illness. She bore the full brunt the entire time she was in close proximity to it. Although she had magic circuits, she was succumbing just as Sojiro had. Languidly, she forced her deteriorating body to jump back. I'm not done yet! With all the energy she could muster, she forced her way past the exhaustion caused by the curse. However, Alka's blood pressure took a steep nosedive, not from the curse-induced anemia, but from what appeared in front of her. They stood in perfect harmony. In front of Alka was the automata that shared her face, its left arm held out like an arrow. The deadly weapon shot forward and honed in on her heart. Nice car. Then a moment before it made contact. Watch out. The moment she heard that fearless voice completely out of place in this storm of violence, Alka's body was pulled forcefully to one side. Cool fucking car again! Once again, the extending arm cut through the empty air. While the puppet quickly retracted its left arm, Sojiro took the brief opportunity to take Alka by the hand and flee at full speed. Sojiro ran through the corridor as fast as he could, only stopping when he had put enough distance between him and the puppet. I was thinking, and though he had saved her, she looked angry rather than grateful. This did not keep Sojiro from saying his piece. Tomorrow's going to be a really busy day for me, so... In other words, let's finish this today. A rather awkward proposal. Alka remained silent. She was also rather angry. Not that she could figure out what made him tick. Nor because he'd returned after escaping. Not even because he was spouting his typically airheaded lines. It was, she supposed, that instant. The fact that when he grabbed her hand, her mind had gone completely blank, Alka found it unforgivable. Which beckoned the response. Are you insane? In the heat of the moment, she blurted it out before she could stop herself. Or maybe you've got a death wish. Don't you realize that either of us could kill you with the snap of a finger? At the very least, I don't owe you a damn thing. Saving my life doesn't change a thing between us. Sojiro nodded, clearly unperturbed. Don't worry, Alzaki. If tonight taught me anything, it's that you're more ruthless than that. She found herself slightly offended. But I think you need to get one thing straight. That thing isn't just trying to kill you. I think it's trying to kill me as well. She was having none of it. Her eyes shot daggers his way. And before you chew me out, you need to know something. Do you remember the first floor entrance at the end of that long corridor? Well, it's blocked. I tried to find my best to find a way out, but no luck. There was no choice but to turn right back. Aqua's eyes widened ever so slightly in amazement. She felt admiration rather than shock that her enemy would go to such lengths. And besides, it was hostile to me earlier. I could tell by how it was glaring at me. Well, it happened so fast I didn't really get a good look at it. But it was really unsettling. You should be careful. That thing, she sure has a terrifying face. Gee, thanks. Yvette. I mean, I can't pretend that this isn't happening to me. Whichever of you wins, I'm a dead man either way, right? I can't argue with that. If it's willing to go as far as to seal off the entrance, then it'd probably kill any witnesses as well. At least that's what I'd do. You did pass out of it. Bimmy moment. Bimmy moment. You're spending too much time. Like you're up too late because you didn't have enough time during the day. You had to deal with your kids. My kids. Not enough time. You can't make the episodes. You got to bring in a Screenwave to help you make it. Help you stream. Right? And I don't want to hear her to be the one who kills me. I don't want her to be the one who kills me. Wait, what? His words were decisive. As Alko looked up at him, she could swear he was trying to encourage her. It was then that she realized Sojiro was looking even worse than before. Hey, are you okay? Well, I'm better than if I'd drunk an entire bottle of soy sauce. He tried to make light of the situation, but his forehead was clearly drenched in sweat. Right. It's because you're so close to the puppet just now. How could he possibly be able to withstand a curse that made even Alko nauseous? She bit her lip, annoyed at herself for not noticing this earlier. Sojiro was such an airhead that he hadn't even paused to consider his plight. Why didn't you consider trying to hide down in the basement? That would have been the safest bet, wouldn't it? She really could not understand him at all. You should really take your own advice sometime, Ozaki. But hey, this is no time to be chatting. She could catch up at any moment. He turned to look down the corridor. The crackling sounds of a music box could be heard creeping forth from the darkness. I was thinking about this while I was on the first floor earlier. If it kills you, I'm next. That's why we should deal with it first. What are you getting at? She asked a question to which she already knew the answer. She did it to put him to the test. If he wavered even a little, she would have killed him where he stood. My proposal is if I agree to help you kill that thing, will you let me go? I thought I made it clear that helping me wasn't going to change my mind. And besides, what do you think you're going to do to it anyways? Oh, that's your end of the bargain, Ozaki. This is your area of expertise, right? The commander who had the overall picture was responsible for delegating roles to their teammates. It was futile to depend on someone who was unable to grasp the situation or evaluate the enemy's strength. Sojiro was proud to share that he knew this. He spoke the truth. Alko was the only one who knew both Sojiro and the automata. That was why he pointed out that following her orders to the best of his ability was the only thing he could do. It may have seemed as though Sojiro had surrendered his capacity for self-thought, but in accepting that he was helpless, he was in fact giving Alko his complete trust. Fine then. So you'll do exactly what I tell you to do. I will. And just so you know, I'm not doing this out of a sense of obligation or anything. It's just obvious that neither of us had a chance on our own. This ain't goodwill or kindness, it's a transaction. His eyes sparkled, as if this was bartering in its truest form. Oh my god. Oh my god. This child must have learned that from Togimaru, Alko thought. Though she refused to let him see it, she smiled inwardly. Sure, he had gotten the best of her just now, but there were times when defeat was not the only worst outcome in the world. Honest pay for honest work. Makes sense. And I hate to admit it, but... She relaxed her shoulders and sighed. Her face cracked into a wicked grin, as if her fears had suddenly washed away. Your plan is just my style. Alco repaid Sojiro's trust in equal measure. Just so you know, this is going to be pretty tough for you. Alco warned Sojiro, moving as fast as she could without her footfalls causing a din of noise. Sojiro remained near the center of the spiral maze on the second floor. I'll let you in on a secret. I have another trap up my sleeve. I think I might have gone overboard for this one, but when you didn't show up on time, I couldn't help myself. A trap? For me? Sojiro tilted his head like a squirrel as Zako freely discussed the final ace up her sleeve. I engraved an ignition formula into the support pillar on the basement. If I ignite the central pillar, it will start a chain reaction that will ignite the rest. I made it before that thing started jamming me, so if I infuse it with a little bit of magic energy, it will go boom. Sojiro was a little unsettled by how unclear that last bit was. Aozaki, could you clarify? I want to know how much you were gonna how much you're gonna blow me up. Please be honest. Also, did I make a mistake agreeing to team up with you? Don't be silly. It was just an insurance policy. Yeah. I just thought if I had lost sight of you at any point, I could blow the whole building and you with it. It was her policy to be thorough to a fault, after all. She laughed, embarrassed to hear herself say it aloud. Don't you think that's overkill? Your kids are fucking you up there? Oh man. I can hear them crying right now as you're about to pass out. I can hear them right now, man. Your stream was 30 minutes behind. Did you like pause it by accident or something? Faced with Alco's cruelty, Sojiro forgot about the situation at hand and protested from the bottom of his heart. Stop complaining. At least now we have a way to fight back. She shot back. Alco dashed down the corridor, mumbling things that probably would have sent Sojiro packing if he'd heard them. I actually did pass out. I was laying in bed and felt really warm. I know that feeling. I know that feeling too, man. You like get like so comfy that you just don't even realize you're falling asleep until it happens. You're just asleep. I know that. The strategy was simple. Alka would use the escape route to the right and avoid the puppet while making her way down to the basement. Oh well, I'm getting married to my little someone. Yeah, sorry. Wait, I gotta read the whole. Hold on. What the fuck is the? Little lore drop. Just go in the server, okay. This might be an unexpected thing for me to announce, but I'm getting married. Alongside streaming, having a family of my own has always been a dream of mine. I don't usually talk about my personal life, but it's something that's important to me, and it'll come up sooner or later, so I wanted to go ahead and tell you. As long as there are people cheering for me, I'll keep streaming and try my best to make you laugh. Thank you for supporting me, and I hope to keep VTubing through every stage of my life, even when I'm a granddad. So, if you're along for the ride with me, I appreciate you so much. And then I gotta put like sparkle eyes on. I gotta turn my blush on. You're not gonna cheer anymore? Listen, I'm Angie now. I have my Angie on. Or I'm gonna kill you. I pressed the wrong one. There we go. It was actually a troll. I'm not married. I'm single, so I can be your. I was just joking. It was just a bit. It was just a joke. It was just a funny. I can still give you your boyfriend experience ASMR if you want. You know, just make sure you keep sending me those super chats and Twitch bit and Streamlab donation. And I'll do my my lovely ASMR where I lick the microphone. Cause I know how much my lovely chatters love that. My mother puckers. As if I'm not aware. Do these people not want me to get help? Do they want me to suffer? Upon reaching the center pillar, she would infuse the formula she had prepared with magical energy and escape. Once ignited, it would take about a minute for the chain reaction to spread throughout the whole house of mirrors, and another minute for the building to collapse. Yeah, you know, this is officially Oberon Mahoyo ASMR. I'm gonna get nice up and close to the mic, and then I'll keep reading. I know how much you love that. She would be cutting it a little close, but because she'd committed to a maze of the maze to memory, she was sure to she was sure she could make it out in time. Do these people not want me to have a family? Do they want me to suffer? Alco assumed that the chain reaction caused by the pillar would clear the barrier that the puppet had placed at the entrance. Open door. Open door. And even if it was strong enough to withstand the blast, it would not be able to stay standing once the foundation buckled. Sojiro's escape was assured as long as the formula in the basement was activated. Next came the most important part. The automaton was at a disadvantage in the obstacle-laden house of mirrors and was unable to move at full speed. It was near the center of the second floor when the building collapsed. It would be caught up and crushed by it. So the problem was keeping the puppet on the second floor until Alco could make it down to the basement. I'm counting on you, Suzuki. I just needed you to keep it occupied for 3 minutes. Ideally, he would be able to keep it busy until she could activate the formula. If that failed to work, lowering him down to the first floor would be the next best thing. She understood perfectly well the danger she was putting Sojiro in, but his lucky streak and his running speed were nothing to scoff at. As long as all he has to do is run, then maybe, just maybe, he could actually pull this off. Alco made her way through the hidden passage of the maze, her hopes pinned on Sojiro. Okay, I don't want to keep ASMR voicing anymore, I'm sorry. I don't want to have to keep leaning over to my mic over here. Meanwhile, well out of earshot, Sojiro was readying himself for another desperate chase. I sure hope my fans don't mind that my ASMR session was cut short. I'll make up for it in our upcoming off collab. You know, we can do a little mukbang together. I'll do some Nico Kato mukbang ASMR for you, and then you can be cooking for me, and I'll be eating it as because I'll be very hungry. Yes. Okay, what is this? Doro. I just realized my audio has been my computer audio has just been muted for like the past 10 minutes. I just thought there was just no noise in the game. It's just that I haven't been able to hear shit. I was looking, because I pulled up the video. I was like, Why shouldn't this have audio? And then because it sounded silent to me, it's like, oh wait, my fucking headset muted itself again for some reason. Okay. Hi Dora. Oh, I love you, Doro, 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 Doro. Why did you just tell me I'm the Joker baby? Well, at least I'm not getting Billy Mitchell in my streams in my games anymore. That was a little tricky when he started to appear in my Stellar Blade streams. I had to keep fighting him. That was a little tricky. Dora, oh Dora, you're so fucking cute. I'm gonna take over your stream and drink ocean water. Oh, look at her eat the orange. I love you, Dora. We all love Doro here. Get ready to lose your stream. No, I'm not gonna say it. Your messages don't appear in my stream. Take that, Joker. Yeah, guys, don't mind me. Joker, the Joker from the Batman is messaging me. The Joker, comma baby. You'll say it when they steal all your anime figures. I'm gonna steal your anime figures. It's the Cunny stealing moon! Ah! Actually, that'd be a funny, like, ghetto smosh, like, fucking Cunny smosh. Cause I remember that the whole, like, one of the fucking, like, jokes in the fucking video where they're, like, texting each other in emojis. That'd be perfect. Sending the woe face, angry mark, crab, sweat emoji, lolly smosh. Gonna have just like, so when you say lolly smosh, will it be like lolly if they're lolicons or they're like voiced by lollies? The sob face, yeah. Where is it in the default YouTube emotes? Do we have that? Do they have that in here? There it is. If you put the sob emoji and the angry emoji, it summons the Cunny stealing mood. I would imagine the lolly voices dubbing over the OG video and I'd be the moon. I'm gonna steal all your Cunny. Oh jeez. Yeah, that's a great video. What do you think of that, Stewie? Well, I gotta get a sip. You know, here's another little bit of extra ASMR for you. Yeah. The big riot noise. Was it like? Was it something like that? Hold on, I gotta pull it up again. When does it sound like?
To unify the Wind Waker style with this for a little while.
Did they?
Like on the DS.
Really? Did this come out before or after?
Big Ryan fan, by the way. What mattered most was that he remained calm. He sounds like Waluigi. He has like the same like nasally sound as Waluigi, even though he's not saying wah. He's like, huh. So it was pretty close. Big Ryan fan, by the way. What matters most was that he remained calm. The plan was simple enough, and Alco's orders were succinct and easy to understand. Keep a distance of around 30 feet and weave through the corridors as slowly as you can 3 or 4 times. Count the mirrors as you move to locate the hidden passages. From here, they're on the 6th, 3rd, 7th, and 2nd mirrors, counterclockwise. Use those and you should be relatively safe. It was essentially a looping marathon. As long as Sojiro kept just enough distance from the puppet's extended arm to allow her to track him, she could continue to chase him indefinitely. Simple though the task was, Sojiro was putting his life on the line as bait. Well, good thing he's a master baiter. And then there was the final order to run as fast as he could to the exit when the building was beginning to sway. This is more than just a little tough. He nervously stuck his head out from around the corner. He could hear the sound of the music box from the other side of the corridor. First, he had to make eye contact with it, then head through the shortcut on the right and begin their game of tag. He spotted it and braced himself. Closer, closer. Fearing that her arm could fly at him at any moment, he went over Alco's instructions in his head. Wait. However, he could not quite remember which led to the first passage. The 3rd, the 6th, the 9th. You blockhead! No. He was sure that was mistaken. He was confident that he had memorized it moments ago, but his nerves had gotten the best of him, and his head was now spinning. Then, Sojiro realized that the sound of his pursuer was beginning to grow distant, at an incredible speed. Whoa, that's a new one. What's it doing now? The unusual silhouette of the puppet astonished him. Before it had taken the form of a beautiful girl. But now it made a bizarre transformation and returned to the first floor to pursue her primary target. Oh, this isn't the plan. Sojiro was no longer sure what to do. Before he'd even had the time to mourn his failure, the puppet had vanished out of sight. I'll help, so let me go. Or so he had said, but now he could not follow through. So what am I supposed to do now? Alone, he tilted his head in frustration. He spoke into the darkness as if Alco would be there to answer him. Meanwhile, downstairs, as soon as she arrived on the first floor, Alco understood what transpired above her. She did not even have to strain her ears to hear the puppet. Even during its heyday, this attraction had never made sounds like the one she heard coming towards her. It was the sound of despair, as if a horde of monstrous hedgehogs, that's an interesting choice, were scraping their way past the mirrors in her direction. Song's the name, speed's the game. That ditz, 3 minutes, couldn't even last 10 seconds. Rather than buying her time, Sojiro had instead stolen hers. He had one job, to run away, that was all. She cursed him under her breath.
複数の足音
Multiple footsteps.
ってことは
So it's changed from bipedal to multi-leg form. The echoes made it sound like a dozen or so feet were approaching. Alko's mind conjured an image of a giant six-legged spider tearing its way down the corridor. Wait, what did my mom texted me? What did the mother fairy text me? Oh, is that a picture of a beaver? Hold on. Beaver? Question mark. Because I want to say, I've never seen a beaver up close. I want to see a beaver. She's on a little trip right now. She said she's actually, where was she saying she was going? Oh, I think she said she went to Seattle with my sister. And then she's going to meet us in our other, over at the lake once we arrive. Oh, wait, disappearing marmots. Olympic marmots live in the isolated Olympic mountains and nowhere else on Earth. Look for these mottled brown rodents at their burrows or foraging for plants after a long winter hibernation. Listen for their whistle. An alert to other marmots. Some marmot colonies at Hurricane Ridge and other areas of the park have disappeared. Research reveals predation by non-native coyotes is driving the decline. Hurricane Hill is one of the best remaining places to observe these rare animals in their mountain home. Okay. So yeah, my mom sent me a picture of like a marmot or something. I don't know. Some kind of, it looked kind of like a beaver to me. I don't know. Anyways, it was little wonder that it was so much faster than before. And perception of its surroundings through echolocation was of particular use in the dark. Compared to sight-dependent humans, this automaton was far better equipped to navigate its way through the labyrinth of mirrors. If it could not keep up pace earlier, that had been because its bipedal mode made it less maneuverable. Now the stability provided by multiple legs gave it a speed that far exceeded that of any human. What now? What now? Her thoughts spun out as she tried to come up with a plan B. All she knew for sure was that this was a pivotal moment. If she continued standing still, she had seconds left at most. Cheap viewers at streamboo.gov. Oh my goodness. Oh, good thing I have the message. Good thing I have the message Streamboo already pre-blocked, so it's not going to show up in my actual chat. But I will ban this funny little guy. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, kid. Even in her current state, she knew she could easily neutralize the bounded field blocking the entrance without casting a spell. All she had to do was feed it a little of her own magical energy. Alko could sprint with all her might for a little more than 3 minutes. The puppet had far more stamina than she did. She could only come up with 3 options. The first was to escape through the exit in front of her. The second was to hide somewhere on the more complicated first floor. And the third option was to run into the basement and be stuck like a rat in a trap. Well, that's obvious enough. She made her decision with zero hesitation, moving her stiff legs again with determined strength. The oncoming storm was almost upon her. Her resolve firm, she turned and ran, descending into the darkness. No matter what, a finale should be glorious. This would be the Mirror Castle's final scene. 2 humans and a puppet. A young sorceress ran towards the subterranean heart of the castle, while an autonomous antique chased its prey into the depths of a demonic dungeon. A minute later, a faint blue charge would ripple through the castle. This was the main pillar in the deepest depth of the basement. Though not critical to the castle's structure, the pillar was a visible symbol of it. The girl concentrated her magical energy into a fist and thrust it at the pillar. This was the blow that would bring down the castle. She imagined the destruction as she threw the punch, and that scene blossomed into reality seconds later. It was simple ignition magecraft, meant to release the condensed magical energy engraved into the 4 pillars at the corner of the structure. Using electricity as a switch meant virtually instantaneous activation. It happened swiftly and elegantly. A hammer of destruction descended upon the castle of dreams that had stubbornly resisted its fate for 2 years. It was almost a joyous sound. And so the lifeless and abandoned castle of mirrors set the stage for its final and most spectacular performance. Alko's magical energy became an electric charge that activated the magecraft formula engraved into the pillar. The chain reaction would lead the castle to its destruction.
ご苦労様。
You served your purpose, but it must have been rough. Looks like you're gonna collapse any time now. The plaza in the center of the basement. Alko tried to steady her breathing while rotating her magic crest at full speed. She wreathed her arms in blue light, fully aware that she could no longer activate another formula. Her labored breathing refused to settle. She stood at the center of the basement. Without being spotted even once, she had managed to make it all the way to the central pillar. It was a 100-meter dash in 13 seconds flat, undoubtedly her personal best. She spurred on her weak heart, knowing full well of the fate that awaited her. It can't help but follow me, and once down here, there'll be no escape. I should have expected that. It was too much to expect that I could keep up the chase forever. Hindsight was 20/20. The castle was only a minute away from collapsing completely. If they stayed here, they would both be crushed by the rubble. The puppet certainly did not care. With no life of its own, its sole concern was the elimination of its target, Alko Ozaki. Indeed. The enemy had been willing to die from the start. She resented her own lack of resolve. It wasn't like her to tuck tail and run from an opponent that didn't fear death. Blah, 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 okay. It's always been on a suicide mission, huh? It doesn't have enough juice to power the 6-legged form and the fin shots. The curses aren't recharging it fast enough. Such a perpetual motion device was only as good as its ability to regulate its energy consumption. Using so many functions at once meant it was burning through fuel quickly and losing the ability to process the curses that powered it. It was using up all the function it had been given to achieve its aim. This was the pride of a tool, if such things could have ego. Those endowed with sentience could never have hoped to understand. A beast born to do nothing but run would burn any human who faced its resolve.
ほんともったいない
It's a waste when you think about it.
こういう無茶をするの
I
を
thought my
歩きだけ
sister
かと
was the
思
only
って
one
たけど
capable of something this reckless, but I was wrong. But, okay. But Alco did not intend a sacrifice play here. She respected her adversary now, and she was done regretting her choices. There was no time to waste.
行くわよここで
This is it, Luigi! Alco had every intention of paying it back double for what it had done to her. The energy Alco had accumulated exploded out of her right leg. She aimed for a single thing, a head-on attack! The enemy responded with a lethal curse that reached for her heart like a set of talons. Humming with power, it meant to rend Alco's heart and burn itself in the process. Whoop! As soon as she saw it, Alco kicked the floor as hard as she could. Her long hair swirled through the air as she flipped aside. The lateral movement almost sent her tumbling to the ground, but a quick swing of her arm allowed her to regain her balance. A shot grazed her arm, the curse scorching her left shoulder. She did not flinch. Alco knew she could hold on as long as she continued to avoid a direct fin shot. New Oberon emoji? Oh my goodness. Let me see. Let me see, what do we got here? A wink. I will react with wink. Wait. There we go.
Snap.
Snap! Off balance and in pain, it took her half a second to recover. The moment she raised her head, she deflected the attack with a fist full of magic energy.
せーの
Here goes! If the puppet had a will of its own, its eyes would have popped right out of its sockets. It would have been floored, shocked at the strong will that allowed this girl to perform a series of moves like this. Crack! Damn, she's about to hit it with the snap, crackle, pop. Alco's response was instantaneous. While her power was not sufficient to completely redirect the arm's trajectory, it was just enough to deflect it harmlessly past her hair. Oh my god, shut up, you stupid puppet. The champ became a curse that robbed Alco of her vitality. Did it still have something left in the tank? Or was it actually indignant? I've heard that word before, but I can't remember how to pronounce it. Indignant? There you go, that's probably how you say it. Indignant. Whatever the reason, Alco was easily able to resist its weakened defensive maneuver. Glider! And her right leg, pulsing with magical energy, shot up into the puppet's chest from below. It was much lighter than Alco had anticipated. Or rather, she felt little resistance. An automaton's weight was determined by its internals, the size of its power source. Ironically, it was the superiority of its music box engine that would prove to be its downfall.
Venite, venite, venite. Meum sepulchrum, venite.
A stuttering curse. Having taken the full brunt of Alco's kick, the puppet bounced from ceiling to floor, collapsing in a heap. Its internal construction had been warped by the impact, leaving the drum of the music box that powered the puppet warped as well.
恨むなら設計者を恨みなさい。
Yeah, apparently it does announce it. I did not know that until right now. Maybe that's just a new weird update that they did. And I made sure to give it a nice little, you know, a little. Yeah. Take your design flaws up with your maker.
ダイナモの一つでも積ん
A
でいれ
single
ば
dynamo would have been all you needed to. Wait, what the? Part of the ceiling came crashing down in front of Alco, snapping her back to her senses.
ところでいいのどうやって
Did I
倒したの
really just take her out? She was so stunned by her own victory that she forgot the house of mirrors had already begun to collapse.
こっちの方がやばかった。
I've got to get out of here. I gotta get out of here. There was no time left to relish in her victory or pity her opponent. Not unless she wanted to meet the same fate. As the situation stood, she found it hard to imagine getting out alive.
急げ、ダッシュだ私。
Get a move on, Alco. She clapped herself on the cheeks to motivate herself anew. This was her bounty for finishing the battle in a matter of seconds. Her breath ragged with excitement, Alco ran for the exit. I want to see Alice again. I miss her. I think I miss my wife. The collapse was intensifying by the second. Having lost its support pillars, the castle was buckling under its own weight.
この邪魔。
Out of my way! Escaping from the basement was proving to be no easy task. While she was taking the shortest route possible through the maze, she was nearly crushed by a falling piece of the ceiling along the way. This was the second time, no, third, she had to deal with falling rubble along the way. She destroyed the debris on the stairs with magic bullets as she ran. The automaton's jamming had long since worn off. The earlier attack had damaged the vast majority of its functions. Uh-oh. Alco's breathing was heavy as she ran. Desperation sparked her brain into overdrive. The ceiling seemed to be collapsing in slow motion. Life seemed to flash before her eyes. Each second stretched into 5. Her frayed nerves made it hard to tell the time. There's debris riddled throughout the stairway, forcing her to crawl up it. She emerged from the destroyed basement into the collapsing first floor. The plaza was still traversable at all was a miracle in and of itself. And fortunately for her, the crucial path to the exit was still intact.
よし、ついてる。
I made it! The corridor to the entrance was still intact. The basement maze only extended as far as the plaza, so the entrance corridor wouldn't collapse. Only the ceiling would cave in, leaving the scaffolding surrounding intact. She got herself this far by telling herself, repeatedly, that fate would decide whether or not she'd reach the plaza. Her gamble paid off. It was her lucky day. All she had to do was muster the last of her strength and keep moving forward until... She hesitated for a fraction of a second. Was it naivety? A sense of responsibility? She pushed aside the image that popped into her head and continued running down the corridor.
言っとくけど、時間合わせの余裕はないわよ。
We don't have the luxury of coordinating the timing with each other to pull this off.
そんな上等な作戦
It's
じゃ
not
な
the
いし。
greatest plan in the world, but we both need to do our parts and get to the exit as soon as possible. That was 5 minutes ago. At the time, Sojiro nodded with trepidation, and Alco had not bothered to ask herself why.
何様だって
What are you spacing out for? Just focus on running. This corridor was giving out too. If she were to look back, she was sure she would have seen the building collapsing in on her. She was also sure that she had no time to waste doing so. Her luck was fading fast as the building's structural integrity was fading as fast as the structural integrity. It was a small miracle that she had escaped serious injury up to this point. Wait, sorry, I was distracted by a YouTube notification. K-San is apparently talking about V Shoujo some more, so that's interesting. Anyways, I'll wait for the translation or the TLDR. It was a small miracle that she had escaped serious injury up to this point, and she could not afford to even have the slightest slip up. An ankle sprain, loss of balance, or even a sneeze would be fatal. A simple pat in the back was enough to end it. So naturally... Oh. There it was, clear as day. From the detritus of the stairway, death had arisen to take her down with it. A corpse that had crawled its way up from the depths of hell itself. It was still operational, and it was armed with curses. It had crawled after her, watching as Aoko desperately tried to save herself. The puppet's arm shot forward. While Aoko did not turn to meet it, she could see its reflection in the mirrors. Extend, extend, extend! This time she could not dodge it. There was absolutely nothing else she could do. The puppet with her face saying, "What?" For a moment she could not believe her eyes. It was the last thing she'd expected to see. Don't know when to give up, do ya? A fierce expression adored in the face of the boy who had been waiting in the plaza as he smashed the puppet's outstretched arm. Anger really did not suit him at all. His weapon of choice was a fire extinguisher. He must have searched the maze for something to use as a weapon. No, never mind that. It was too crazy to contemplate, but had he stayed behind for her? Suzuki! Aoko stopped the feet she had sworn would never stop moving, and extended a hand out to him. That's enough, leave it, we have to go. Sojiro tossed the fire extinguisher aside and took off running. Pieces of the ceiling continued to collapse like dominoes. Pizza. They kept moving with dust and dirt following in their wake. Their shoulders raced through the collapsing corridor with all their strength. The castle was in the throes of death. With a massive crash and a cloud of dust, the final chapter of the fairy tale that had been Kitsy Land came to an abrupt end. Yay! This duel to the death was over. For a moment, amidst their swirling emotions, any past enmity was forgotten. The two collapsed on the lawn and basked in the strange solidarity. The ringing in their ears had subsided before long. A tremor of such magnitude seemed impossible in an amusement park like this. As the sounds of destruction echoed across the park, Alko addressed the individual at her side.
ね
Hey, you alive? Yeah.
えシェ
While the click of her tongue was adorable, the meaning behind it was anything but.
青崎
Alzaki, what happened to that thing?
見ての通りよ
What do you think?
今頃バラバラ
It
し
was
たいになってるん
crushed
じゃ
to
ない
bits. Sojiro sighed, not wholly relieved by her frank response, his reason.
でもそんな心配よ
Never
り自
mind
分の
that
心配
thing.
をした方がい
You
いと
should be
思うわ
worrying
よ
about
しず
yourself.
くん
He wasn't out of the woods yet, after all.
青崎
Alzaki,
子供の頃はい
I'm
じめっ子だった
guessing you were a bit of a bully as a kid. Hey man, that's a bully, man.
可逆趣味はないって自負してるけど
Maybe, but I don't get a kick out of seeing people suffer.
それで
Never
今の
mind
自
that.
分の立場
Do you know the
分かってる
situation you're in right now? She sat up and smiled. Sojiro hung his head in shame, wondering why her kind tone and expression were so chilling.
面目次第もございません
Please accept my sincerest apologies.
かしこまってもダメよ
Oh no, don't
あ
you
の
even
提案に
start.
は大前提があっ
You
た
know
わ
what
よ
our
ね
agreement was,
これは
and
取
a deal's a
引
deal. If you
だ
held
あな
up
た
your
が
end
役
of
に
the
立つのなら
bargain,
見逃
I'd
してあ
let
げ
you
る
go.
っていう
分かってる
Exactly, that's why I'm apologizing. Sojiro made a show of avoiding her eyes, like a pouting child. Alka was taken aback by this sulky display. Perhaps he was angry at himself rather than her. He was not mad because she would not let him go. He was mad that he had not done his part. Alko sighed for what seemed like the millionth time that day. She could not figure out what surprised her the most, his unconditional kindness or her naive approval of it.
じゃあ覚悟はできてる
So, are you ready?
そんなのはできないけど
Of course not,
約束だ
but
か
a
ら
promise is a promise.
結局は何も
In
して
the
ない
end, I failed to do my part. It was certainly the case that he failed to do any of the things she had expected of him. My face when Dorothy says something mean about a leg. I fucking love that image. The Shaquille O'Neal doing the T with his hands. Time out. When in the regular show when they are being mean to Pops, you know that image. I haven't had the time to play the new story yet because you know I'm getting back at like 6 p.m. and then I'm either streaming or doing shit at like 7, so I haven't had the time to do it yet. 2 hours of doggy style and doing again. Load was huge, Emil. You truly are the Mike of the miscreants. My job, true. It's my job, man. But just then, she glanced back at the collapsed house of mirrors. What had he done after failing so spectacularly? He had searched for the extinguisher so he could use it as a weapon, and awaited patiently in the plaza as the maze collapsed all around him just because he thought it was wrong to leave her behind. It was a foolish choice, and the exact opposite of her choice to run towards the exit without hesitation.
まあそれでよしとする
I suppose I'll take it. She was satisfied, even as she was shocked at how naive she was being. It was true that he had saved her. She smiled inwardly, admiring, if only for a moment, the bravery he continued to show in his face of such extreme circumstances. Oh, so you aren't doing 12-hour shifts early in the morning, just extending the later half? 6 to 6, baby. That's how it is. $666. The Sega 1991 logo was changed to Sega 666. I saw it just for a split second. You may have blown your chance, but you did make up for it after the fact. I'll keep my promise. With a nod, she pulled herself to her feet. Bro, I don't care if you're Jeff Bezos. Who the fuck needs someone for 12 whole hours? Well, we gotta get that. We gotta make up for being shut down for like over a week. But you'll pay back for this. I'll pay you. You'll pay back for this favor someday. And it really fucking. I don't get why we can't just do it. I don't know why we couldn't just kind of ease into it a bit. Maybe do a couple 10s, then a 12. You know, it's kind of sucks going from like being at work for like 2 hours because it's down to going to like 12 hours. The girl tried to keep a straight face as she offered a hand to the boy still lying on the ground. Go team! Pizza Party Friday, by the way. You managed to help me in the end. So because of that, I'll let you off the hook for tonight. Huh? She bashfully averted her gaze, though her profile appeared different than it had in the past. It was clearly still the face of the vibrant girl he had met the day he first arrived in town. What are you staring at? As if she had felt his eyes on her, she shot him a frowning glare. Oh, sorry. It's just, as crazy as it is to say out loud, you really are a fair person, Alzaki. He took her outstretched hand. Feeling his weight as she pulled him up, she could not help but think that he was about the last person she wanted to hear that from. By the way, you said you'd let me off the hook tonight. What about tomorrow? Well, we'll just have to see. She shrugged her shoulders as if she was not sure herself. Bro needs to step up his game and just fuck her. She's so sexually frustrated. It's hard to watch. Actually, I can't remember from the original was it Arrowgate or not? Hold on. Because I know Fate Stay Night was. Okay, it's not an Eroge, but I know. Wait, was Tsukihime? I think Tsukihime was. Okay, yeah, it is. The original Tsukihime and Fate Stay Night were, but Mahoyo is not. They should definitely do it though. They're pretty cute together. I get Alice though. I get the demure tea sipping. Quiet woman. That's why I get with her. Sojiro can have Alco. The response was so unlike her that it made Sojiro smile. Was it the solidarity of having escaped death together, or their fleeting camaraderie that made him do so? It might have been for this night only, this witch on the holy night, but the air between them was kind and gentle. A lot had transpired, but the midwinter nightmare had come to an end. The pair had overcome many trials and tribulations, and could now leave the mirror realm in their wake. She would ride him furiously the whole time, and he'd just be sitting there like, oh, what's this? That fucking just that dead ass stare. No thoughts. Do you think he knows what sex is? Does Sojiro know what sex is? YouTube poll. The Sojiro, can I actually do polls on YouTube? I don't know if I can. I thought that was a thing you can do. Maybe I have to be a big boy YouTuber to do that. Sex? Wait, that's how babies are made? Engage with your audience. Oh, start a poll. There it is. Does he know? Okay, chat, here's your poll. All right, gang. The answer is no. He does not know what sex is. Okay. He's got that Goku get him attitude. But before that,
随分と身勝手ね。
how selfish of you.
それはあなた一人で決めてい
And
い
who,
こと
may I ask, said you could decide that, Alco? Oh shit. Is that my girl? It was the voice of a beautiful songbird and a merciless machine all rolled into one.
アリス。
Alice. Her voice quivered as she spoke that name. The lady in black made her presence known. The night was not yet over. Her name was Alice Kuanji. She was a witch whose name struck fear into the heart of Alco, an avatar of the night who allowed no witnesses. I love you, Alice. Chapter 5, Part 1. Now we got Part 2. Oh yeah, by the way, this is 12 chapters, so yeah. Night of the Bitches 2. The melody stirred an emotion like nostalgia within them. Something once familiar, but now lost to this world. They believed beyond a shadow of a doubt that it would play for all eternity. From opening stanza to final coda. It was a mysterious siren song, merry yet longing, that heralded a return from dreams to reality. Okay, being real, this game has barely any interesting stories that end up feeling the same stories over and over again. They drag it out. Yeah, I feel like that whole fucking like scene there, it could have been condensed a good bit. I don't know, man. They're like the whole part where they were just talking to each other in like the hallway, which I was kind of surprised how long that was, considering there was a freaky guy following them. Oh, it's this song. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff that was happening just felt samey through the whole thing. It kind of blurred. I mean, it started off good. They don't make the character. Well, to be fair, it could be better later. This is still like there's still 12 chapters. Well, there in total there's 12 chapters, but it's like I said, this chapter, like the whole chapter 5, started off good. I think. With Alco like trying to kill Sojiro, and then it's like, oh shit, there's that thing. But then that thing kind of dragged on for a while. I mean, I'll give it that. A lot of the imagery looks nice in this game, and it's really well made in that regard as far as like visual novels go, like without like gameplay. But it is kind of dragging, I'll give you that. But and one more thing, it was still better than chapter 2, which is just them talking in school about an event that happened the day before, and you're just like sitting like, what the fuck are they talking about? And it's just at school for like the whole like hour of gameplay, and it's like, oh, okay. But yeah, that's how it is so far. Anyways, let me keep reading. Oh, that kitty thing. That's like the Windows icon for this game. It's like the Smiling Friends episode with Shirley and Pim talking about the adventure they had during the Alan episode. Yeah, in the fucking chapter 2, they were talking. Well, to be fair, they did reveal what they were talking about with the day before. What happened the day before? It's when Alka was burning that one puppet or some shit. But it's like, I don't know, man. It was just kind of, it was just boring. I don't know. I had more fun doing the stupid Maximilian Pegasus voice than actually reading it. The night shook. A song was spun. Now the lost paradise was unearthed. Abandoned dreams. Forsaken idols. Play Mahoyo blindfolded. Now that's a challenge. Yeah, you gotta memorize all 12 chapters. They all responded to the cry of a blue cat. The name of that bell was Diddle Diddle. Oh, that's quite the name. Banquet of the Night. All fables made possible, all marvels made real. By the magecraft of Alice Kuonji. More magical than magic itself. Hi Alice, I love you. I got it. Okay, she doesn't have that voice. How selfish of you. Is that something you can really decide on your own, Alco? Alice sat perched atop the clock tower, like a black bird of ill omen. She smoothed the ruffles of her skirt as if she were preening. Alice. There was tension in Alco's voice as she lifted her head. The calm atmosphere from a moment prior had been long since shooed away by Alice's gaze. That girl, I've seen her somewhere before. Sojiro searched his hazy memory. He could not clearly make out her face in this distance, but he was sure he had seen her around town a number of times. Where and where eluded him, however, as the tension in the air kept from connecting all the dots. Well, isn't this a fun turn of events? I didn't know you cared so much, Alice. I thought you were going to leave tonight to me. Alka readied her guard and took a step forward, unconsciously. From an objective standpoint, it almost looked as though she were protecting the figure beside her. Alice's silence grew even heavier. Her eyes, fixed on the ground below her, were devoid of emotion. An indescribable sense of dread and pressure laid claim over the plaza. A bell? If he strained his ears, he could make out the faint ringing of a bell echoing in the distance. The rippling sound waves seemed unbelievably to be emanating from under the ground. Hey Ozaki, that girl, she's... quiet. Sojiro stepped back, trying to stay out of the way. It was as though he had been told to go to hell for the crime of asking the girl if she was Aoko's friend. I wouldn't go as far as to say I cared. I simply had a feeling something might be wrong and came to check. It's not as though I had any doubts regarding your ability to handle the job. Much appreciated. It would have been nice if you had thought to come check on me a bit earlier, though. As you can see, things seem to work themselves out.
夜も遅いし
It's late, so don't let me keep you, Alice. Since you have no doubts about my ability, right? Their eyes locked onto one another. Alice's stare was uncomfortably cold. Alco was bold, daring Alice to air her complaints.
いえ気が変わっ
I think I've changed my mind.
たせっかくだし
I'm
二人で
here
帰り
now,
ましょ
so why don't the
う
two of us go home? That's more your style anyway, Alco. You can tell me all about your adventures with the puppet along the way.
らしいって何よらしい
What's that supposed to mean?
いいから帰れ帰
Go
れ
home,
ぐ
Alice.
うたらアリス
Shut yourself in your
部屋
room
に閉じ
and
こも
make
って
some more
役
of
に
your
立たない
worthless
ぬくもりでも
birds.
作ってろっての
A disappointed sigh escaped Alice's delicate lips. It seemed that the black-clad girl was more astonished than angry. She's dissing the bird. She's dissing the bird! Yeah, this is about to get serious. Are you about to have a fucking cat fight here?
本気
Alco, I hate to say this, but seriously? Quietly, Alice questioned her roommate of nearly 2 years.
呆れ
You surprised
た二人
me.
で秘密を守
Did you
る
not say we would protect our secret together?
まだ半端にそっち
Are you still having trouble letting go of the other
それとも
side?
情でも移った
Or has compassion taken hold of you?
別に情ってい
Not
う
at
よ
all.
り私の
This
気分
isn't compassion. I just feel like doing it this way.
大体方針
No
なんてその
plan
場その場
survives.
で変わるもんでしょ
No plan survives contact with the enemy. You know that. The same goes for my mood.
そっちこそ
Besides,
一度した
who
約
goes
束
out
を
of their
絶
way
対
to keep a
守る
promise she made
なんて
forever
時
ago?
代遅れなん
A
じゃ
little
ない
old-fashioned if you ask me. The proverbial nerves were out now. No quarter was given or taken. Sadly, their partnership was one of convenience and had not reached a level of mutual understanding. Their version of friendship was both delicate and unique. When a conflict of opinion arose, each would refuse to budge until the other crumbled. Neither was concerned for the other's plight, and at least for now, that was how they liked it.
そうね
You know,
今の暴
I've
言
come to
が
accept
新しいとは
stupid
思うけど
outbursts like this from you. Once again, she let out a sigh, even larger than the one before.
言い争いは後にしましょう
Why don't we save this argument for later?
そこの彼をいなかったこと
I
にす
can
る
make him
のは
disappear on my own.
私だけで十分だし
Finally, she stuck her right to the point. As if making to move a chess piece, Alice lifted her slender finger. A fork! Huh? Even this simple action seemed mysterious to Sojiro, the same boy who had been hunted by his classmate Aoko Ozaki and bore witness to an automaton. Aoko's violence and an animated doll. Though perhaps far beyond the world of logic, both of these things were derived from reality. As surprised as he'd been, there was no need to think of them as total mysteries. However, when the thing appeared out of thin air from seemingly unrelated gesture, he had no word for it besides mysterious. Sojiro stood motionless, captivated by the stage performer's magic trick, as the girl's single-finger magecraft turned into an attack directed at him. A blue light flew from their side to repel it, annihilating it without a trace.
やば
Oh, crap. Aoko immediately regretted her reflexive shot.
どういうこと
What are you
約束
doing?
を曲げただけじゃ
You're
な
not
く
satisfied with breaking just our promise, so you must break the rules as well. The already chilled midwinter air plunged below freezing. Alice looked calm and collected on the outside, but in reality she was sometimes even more hot-blooded than Alco. This was especially true when it concerned her familiars. Accidentally breaking one would often result in a week of silent treatment. But against someone who maliciously destroyed her things, Alice was prone to retaliate without warning. Whoops. I figured I'd do that someday, but I couldn't have picked a worse time. Aoko sighed at herself. Even she was exasperated by her own stupidity, yet she couldn't help but feel a pang of regret. Okay, I don't like that anymore. She did not intend to make any excuses, and she had no regrets. If she had broken the rules, then so had Alice. Alco. How do I put it? If anything, this took a load off her mind. After all, now there was no going back. Alco never intended to break her own rules. If there was anything for Alco to regret, it was putting too little power into a shot. I have a problem with this guy dying tonight. So can we reschedule the execution? What difference does a day make? To Alco, it was simply natural to take on a pro bono class in defense of an innocent suspect. Is this personal? So what if it is? You know that paying back my debt is pretty important to me. More important than our agreement. Sure, depending on the time and place. Sojiro's human rights had not yet entered the argument. The girls were busy pouring oil on each other's flames. The girl clad in black was the first to move, or rather erupt. I see. I understand how you feel, Alco. But I'm gonna have to kill him here. I believe that you would let him live. Shall I take that to mean you're ready to fight me for it? You know damn well I'd rather not. Alco bit back the retort. She was very familiar with Alice's magecraft, and knew painfully well how many mystics were hidden in Alice's tiny body. Oh, her tiny body. Ugh. The odds of victory were essentially non-existent, and once the first shot had been fired, Alice Kuwanji was without mercy. Whether facing a roommate or a friend, a most beloved family member or a stranger. Once Alice began to fight as a witch, she became a heartless, unflappable monster. Alco advanced another half step forward, as if to encourage herself. It was too late to back down now. The situation was no longer a trivial quarrel over a witness. The bedrock of their so-called friendship had nothing to do with their individual abilities, and everything to do with being equals in will. That is why, in order to stay true to herself, Alco had no room for compromise or deception. Of course, I'm gonna make sure this idiot lives, even if it means killing you. Besides, her magic circuits howled as they kicked into gear. Her body, which had mostly been dormant during the battle with the puppet, ignited, preparing to demonstrate its true worth. We were going to end up killing each other in the end anyway. Her courage overpowered any fear she had for her opponent. Tuning her body, her magic circuits, to become like a barrel of a gun, Alco fired a magic bullet. It was an exceedingly basic magecraft formula. There was no nature interference, no creating of wind, parting of water, nor hastening of decay. It was simply the process of converting the imaginary activity known as magical energy into something real, before releasing it as heat. Thus, Alco's destructive power was equal to her supply of magical energy. The magic bullets she had used against Sojiro were among the most basic single-action magecraft that did not require an incantation. At her present ability, Alco's main mode of attack, her magic bullet, could be fired at 3 levels of power. These were at the 2nd level. This required a double-action magecraft, a casting through activation of her crest combined with the simplified incantation. However, without blinking, Alice dispersed the shot that Alco had mustered all her spirit to fire. Actually, when you mentioned it earlier, when we were talking about how it kind of like dragged on, that reminded me about how there was a Mahoyo movie in development by, I think it was, what's it called, Studio Ufotable? The people who fucking animate Demon Slayer, I think. But it got put into fucking development hell because like they kept getting swamped with like fucking Demon Slayer movies. And honestly, with how like slow paced this is, I feel it would fare better as a movie with cutting out a lot of the fluff. Honestly, like cutting out a lot of like the longer, like less necessary skull scenes, and maybe like shortening that little puppet thing a bit, you know. I think that would be a lot. I feel like it would work good as a movie. I mean, because the characters are pretty interesting, and like, and the whole I like the Nasuverse, like all that magey shit that they have. I like the whole magic system, but like, I feel like the pacing, unless it ends up getting a lot better by the end, the pacing is kind of icky, and I won't say not the worst, but it's like it is a bit slow. And not as like, and I mean, it's not. I don't think it's supposed to be thought-provoking either. It's more of like a kind of action-y. It's not. You know, I don't think it's very contemplative of a visual novel, but so far there hasn't been too much. I mean, there hasn't been too much going for it other than like the visuals and like the super cool characters. You know. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't know. I don't know the concept. I mean, people really like this game, but like, I don't know. That's just my hot take, I suppose. Our hot take. Well, I think honestly, Nasu just like Nasu-verse stuff, Type Moon-verse stuff. We should get a lot more movies. Fuck Demon Slayer movies. Give me some more Fate Lost Belt animes. Give me Mahoyo anime. Actually, Mahoyo movie. What else was I say? Tsukihime. Make a good Tsukihime anime. What else is there? You know, just give all and fucking some of the other Fates games. Finished. What's the one Fate game that's been in development hell? Fate Extra Record or something? That's been in like development hell. And it's been delayed like 4 times already, and it was recently delayed until next year again. It's okay. I mean, Sai and Katawa changed my life. I don't know. I don't think this is really meant to be that thought-provoking. That's the thing. I mean, if you're going into this looking for like something to change your life or like bring up a big philosophical idea, I mean, this isn't exactly the most best game to play. Actually, since I was just talking, I'll probably just save here since we're just talking about it now, and I'm probably gonna end stream soon. Hold on, let me get some BGM on real quick. 1 second. Wrong one. This one. Wait, no, this one.
Hey, it's Fred! Happy Halloween, everyone! Well, I hope you guys are having a good Halloween because I am stuck in my house alone.
Typically tend to watch things that you see as good for the brain. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, you don't really like consume a lot of the like slopa. Not a lot of slopa. I don't know, where's my fun room? Okay.
What was that noise? I'm gonna find out what's wrong with this babysitter.
Put Doll Sim theme with the elephants. I mean, you do watch a lot of, I mean, not like I don't know how to say, like Street Fighter 2 anime. I mean, that's just, I mean, that is just silly. I mean, it has to, I guess it kind of has to strike a balance of like either philosophical or like kind of entertaining. Because like Fist of the North Star can get pretty ridiculous at some points with all like this villains and like ways of killing and shit. It's not exactly the most thought-provoking show, but it's it can get really wacky at some points. And then, you know, there's fucking Katawa and Saya, as you said. Those are more thought-provoking. Liking Dexter so far, it's really good for someone getting into psychology. I mean, yeah, that's kind of like a big premise of it, is like getting the psychology of Mr. Dexter Laboratory. I can't remember, I think someone in my family used to watch Dexter. I can't remember if it was my brother or someone else, because I think my mom mentioned it at one point, like a while ago, before it started to get its new thing. I read all of Fist of the North Star, and it's just retarded upon retarded, but you get so desensitized. Yeah, but that's like kind of what's good about it. It keeps getting so stupid. A PSP is the funny Dexter meme. Yeah, I saw it. One of the new ones, the new Dexter meme dropped 2025. We go from a surprise motherfucker to having a. I don't even know the guy's name. He's sitting in the car. He's like, oh, I know you something, but I need to prove it. I don't know much about the show myself. Guess I gotta ask my brother about it, because I think he was the one who watched it. Doaxy? How do I say that?
I want to suck your blood.
I know! Get away, you freak! Everybody knows they come to suck my blood!
Doax? Oh, it's loading. No, it opened in the wrong. No, it opened in the wrong window. Hold on. I don't want to open it up in my other browser. My YouTube, specifically the browser I use to like edit my YouTube streams, because I don't feel like logging out of my main account on my Firefox browser. Surprise, motherfucker!
Where the hell you been?
Crime scene?
What about these? The hotel cokehead murders. This dealer and the girl.
Oh. Well, this Hallmark-looking couple didn't die by the hands of a professional. No, it's just child's play. Messy work. All that blood on the walls looks like a finger painting.
You give me the fucking creeps. You know that, Dexter?
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
Fuck you.
He just hates? Is he a hater?
Yeah, you can give me your fucking analysis on the blood spatter on these killings. You think I'm here to invite you to my nephew's bris?
I didn't know you were Jewish.
I like how the highlight on the you know how YouTube has like highlights, like the most replayed section. It's the fucking surprise motherfucker. The most replayed section.
Bam, done. And I don't give a shit what you say, because that's what happened, and that's who I'm looking for. Hey, we are looking for a motherfucking thief dealer. You got it?
Okay. Sure. I guess. But I should get over there.
Then get over there already, you fucking weirdo. I need it quick.
I'm on it, Sergeant.
The only real question I have is why in a
He seems
building
like a
full
pretty
of
funny
cops,
character right
all
off this
supposedly with
this
a
first
keen
scene
insight
here.
into the human soul is Dokes.
Dokes,
The
that's how I
only
say
one
it.
who
Okay.
gets the creeps from me.
Like Oaks, but like with the D.
Rose.
Hi.
Congratulations on your confirmation.
Thank you. Do I know you?
My name is James Dose, Miami Metro PD.
His voice and constantly smiling lips kill me. Yeah.
Oh, it's terrible. Were they members of the church?
No, Rose, they weren't.
Oh, I understand.
Well,
Like, how long has this poll been up here? Can I just like, there we go, end poll?
No,
Okay.
Why are you asking me?
get away from my daughter.
Does he know? No.
My church? In front of my family? Ricky and Kara had a family too.
You just opened a dangerous door.
No, man, you did. When you murdered a cop
Does Dokes know?
and an innocent lady.
What is he talking about, Daddy?
Come on, honey, let's go. Daddy, let's go.
You don't play by the rules.
Fucking smug ass face. Well, I'm not showing it, but it was implied.
Fuck anyone's wife lately?
Thanks
The
to your
bagel.
chicken shit stunt. Guerrero's guys are tailing me everywhere I go. Did you know that?
Oh, that's not good, James. You should alert the police. Unless, of
Well, I
course,
probably
some
should.
reason the officers
I
of
probably should get a
Miami
bed
Metro
soon
wouldn't want
because
help
of
like,
my
you know,
job,
you
but I
fucked
do
one
want
of their
to
wives.
get to the one
You
fucking
think this is a
thing.
joke? I'm gonna end up dead. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah. You should have thought of that before you stuck your dick in my sister.
Okay, here it is.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Okay. Yeah, that was a great stream, guys. I'll see you probably Saturday. I'll play something different. So it will probably be the last stream I do until our theoretical off collab, probably on his channel. So bye, guys. Oh, stay for Dokes. Stay for Dokes. Do you want me? Do I have to stay up the Dokes? I think I actually just closed it. Let me make it. Wait. No, I don't want to know what's new with Firefox. I don't care. I just want to browse my internets. I don't need all these stupid yee-ass features.
You following me now?
Better have a hell of a reason for being here.
I'm looking for my sister.
In a cargo box.
Who
Yeah,
uses
kinda
an internet
work,
browser for more than
You
just
work for the
browsing? Why do I need all
fucking
these
cops. We love theory.
features?
Come on, spin me a story, asshole.
What I do on my time is my business, Sergeant.
Yeah, me too. And I'm on my time now. There's no lieutenant here to save your ass. So
Wait,
don't
what?
fuck with me, Morgan.
All right, you got me. I ordered some furniture from Thailand. I was waiting for it to be delivered.
Ooh.
They have kicked my ass. Hey, what the hell's going on over here? Security, I need to get somebody down here right now. Miami Metro PD. Yeah, well, is this guy under arrest?
That's a good question.
You're connected to this. I don't know how, but I'm gonna find out, and some of what I find is gonna stick to your ass.
I'll be okay.
This is that
Followed
was
the
an
code.
epic fight.
The stalk was good. I'm just a little rusty since killing my brother.
We need some more epic fights.
Or maybe I took pity on my victim. I mean, sure, he's a heinous killer, but he also bumps into walls.
Hey, Sergeant. Thanks for supporting the bowling team.
Fuck you. Where's my
Fuck
blood
you.
report on the Maynard victim?
Check DC.
So what's that, a titty site?
Oop.
Surprise, motherfucker. New case. New case. Well, okay. Shut the fuck, Morgan. Get in there and analyze those blood samples, you sick fuck. I'm watching you. Okay. Creepy ass motherfucker. You know you get off to. I know you get off to this shit. Everyone thinks you're good at what you do, but I'm still on to you, you cocksucking freak. Okay, Sergeant. Shut the fuck up. You do your job. I'm watching you. Then go to sleep for my job. Yeah. But yeah, that seems like a fun dynamic between those two. But yeah, I gotta go to bed for go get ready for bed for my job. I'll see you later. See you later. See you. Goodbye.